Hey friends, welcome to my latest video where we're going to be exploring the pros and cons of living in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is the capital of Ohio, one of the largest cities in the Midwest. We've got a thriving economy, growing population, rich culture here, the world's largest chip factory coming to town in the next couple years by Intel. But like any city, Columbus has its advantages and disadvantages and may not be for everybody. So in this video, we're going to explore, in my opinion, the top three of each. Top three pros, top three cons. My name's Paul Graves. I'm a local real estate broker, been here all my life. If there's anything I can do for you in regards to relocation, moving within, coming from out of town, anything, just let me know. If I can't help you, I'll make sure to connect you with the right person. Thanks so much for watching. Let's jump into the list. All right, for pro number one, we have affordability. For how large Columbus is, what it has to offer, all the companies you have here, all the amenities, all the culture, all the technology, Columbus is super affordable. I have friends all around the country and family in Florida, in Texas, in California, all over the country. And I'm amazed at just how affordable Columbus is. For $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, which can be affordable for a lot of dual income families or single families, it's very affordable where you can get, very impressive. Depends the school district or part of town, but even just gas prices, grocery prices, everything's very affordable in Columbus for just how large of a city it is. I was just traveling in Florida a couple weeks ago. I love Florida, but I was blown away at the gas prices, grocery prices, wherever I went. And compared to Ohio, it's far more expensive. So Columbus is really affordable, and I think for just how cultured and high tech and how fast the city's growing, it's still very affordable, which is super important. So, big pro there for Columbus. Let's go to pro number two. Okay, so pro two is going to be a growing economy. Like I said, we do have the world's largest chip factory by Intel being constructed in Johnstown, which is just 15 to 20 minutes from Columbus. Everyone's super excited about that. But the Columbus Crew, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Arena District, the Short North, Dublin, where I live, and Bridge Park, there's humongous developments. There's also a brand new, besides Easton, which is a huge outdoor mall and area that's been developed, there's another one being developed on the west side of town to match the east side. There's a lot going on here. People are super excited. Columbus is growing very fast. The highways are being expanded, which unfortunately will be in my cons list. But growing economy, a lot of jobs, a lot of excitement here for the future. People are very optimistic in Columbus, about the future. There's so much potential, and you can just tell. I'm in the real estate business and industry. I work with a lot of investors and developers, and they just always look excited. I mean, there's a lot going on in Columbus. People are just honestly, people are so excited, it's like they're impatient. They can't wait for the future to be here. So I think it's a very optimistic city. When you compare that to other cities in Ohio, sadly, it's refreshing that Columbus has so much optimism for growth and for the future. In my opinion, it's the only city in Ohio where I've seen that regularly, constantly, an optimistic excitement for the future, and a focus on growth. So Columbus, really great for that, really fast-growing economy, a lot of tech jobs here, and a lot of development going on. So super exciting. Big pro. Let's go to number three. All right, so for pro number three, kind of a combo, we're going to have culture and food/drink, because Columbus is a city rich in history and arts and museums and parks, but also, gosh, we have so many restaurants. And if you're into it, so many great bars and breweries. And I know a lot of people are really into that. People in Columbus love to watch football, the Buckeyes. They love to eat food, and they love to do both at the same time. So if you're into beer and restaurants and breweries and culture and arts, Columbus has you covered. There's so much of that going on here. And I know a lot of cities say that, but when you combine the food and drink culture and restaurants and arts together with the optimism and growing economy and affordability that I spoke to before, those 3 points make for a city that's affordable, excited and optimistic, and vibrant in culture and food and drink. And it's just a super fun, exciting place to be. And, like I said, we've got an optimistic zeal, great food, great drink, a lot going on. So, the rich culture and the food and drink really just makes it an exciting place to be. So those are 3 big pros for Columbus: affordable, growing economy, culturally rich, and food/drink. A lot going on, an amazing place to call home. So, but there are some cons, right? So right now we're going to jump into the cons list, and cons number 1 is All right, so con number one, Columbus, I hate to do this to you, but my gosh, the traffic keeps getting worse and worse. So you're going to have this with any big city, right? And Columbus is growing very fast. Like any major city, and Columbus is now being considered a major city in the United States. Last study I saw us as the 14th largest city in the country. There's a lot of traffic. And there's luckily the highway system, honestly, is pretty simple. So you have one round highway called 270, then like a bullseye, you're going to have 71 and 70. Boom, perfect circle with a bullseye in the middle. There are a couple highways that connect inside. They all get really busy though. And just like any other city, there's certain exits that are just notorious for getting packed with traffic. What's really cool about Columbus though is that now this is a con, but there's lots of ways to get different places. Just like any other city, you're going to find some pretty cool shortcuts, and there's 5 or 6 ways to get to every other part of town and every location. Sometimes those all get full, but there's usually always a way that's quicker, and you learn to maneuver certain times a day which one of those routes you're going to take. So if you're going to use all highways all the time, it can get pretty wicked. And sometimes even just like on a Sunday at 2 p.m., there's a ton of traffic on this road out here by where I live, Sawmill Road it's called. And I'm just like, wow, who are all these people? But people are excited. Columbus is growing, and that's just the way it is. So a lot of traffic, something to expect. Columbus is growing. People love to go out to eat and drink and shop, and that's just the way it is. So let's go to con number 2. All right, con number 2. It's getting a little crowded in here, and that's true. Columbus, a lot of the parts that have grown have sort of stacked on top of each other. So another development, another development, another development. They aren't going too far out. Like for some reason, they're not going out. Sometimes like they're filling in little empty patches within an already large suburb. And it was nice to have those empty areas, you realize, until, once they're filled in, you're like, wow, it was nice when there was nothing there for years. Those 20 acres that were empty. Now they're full. Now traffic on this 2 or 4 lane road has gotten way worse, and that greenery is gone. So that's what's happened in Columbus. A lot of developers, I think old families, maybe who had this land forever, has finally sold it off, finally developed it. And a lot of areas that were farmland or just empty, and you didn't even notice until it was filled in. Now they're getting filled in, built upon, apartments, condos, towers, big subdevelopments. So that is happening. It's getting a little crowded in some areas. You can still buy, if you're used to less dense areas, you can still buy out of the city. And what's cool is that people in Columbus think that, 20, 30 minutes is like forever. You may be coming from somewhere, though, where 20, 30 minutes is nothing, as a commute each way, 20, 30 minutes. People in Columbus want like 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, honestly. So if you can do with a 20, 30-minute commute, you can avoid the crowdedness. You can get out, about 15, 20 miles from town and get into really affordable, really beautiful areas that are not crowded like that. But if you're going to be in Columbus proper, if you want to be in the city, in the middle of it, there's some pretty crowded areas where you're going to be kind of stacked on top of each other, and a lot of that traffic's going to get you. So let's go to con number 3. All right, con number 3, everyone loves to talk about this, kind of like Chicago. Columbus is in the Midwest, and sometimes the weather can get kind of nasty. In the summer, it gets hot and muggy. In the winter, it can be harsh. It can be super cold. Now, we do not get the lake effect snow like you do up by the lake, up in Cleveland, up in Michigan. We do not get that here, but gosh, it gets awfully cold. Sometimes I feel like it gets even colder than I've seen up there, and I don't know why that is, but it gets awfully, awfully cold here and awfully terribly hot in the summer sometimes. So you get those extremes in the seasons here in the Midwest, and it's pretty weird how that is, but it's very hot, and not just the heat, it gets very muggy and humid here. And the weather can be unpredictable. One day in the winter, it'll be 55 and everyone's in t-shirts because this is Ohio. So when it's 45 to 55 degrees, we're in t-shirts and shorts. And then the next day it'll be 22, and then it'll be 40. And then a couple days later, it'll be 0 or -10 with the wind chill. It's very up and down, very unpredictable. People make jokes about it all the time. And if you're from somewhere where the weather's not like that, it can be a little brutal and hard to get used to. So be prepared for that Midwest weather. You're going to be checking the weather constantly. I live here and I check the weather almost every day because I don't know what it's going to be like. You just can't predict it. So that rounds out con number 3, the weather. All right, friends, so that's it for my real quick list of pros and cons of living in Columbus, Ohio. I think Columbus is a great place to call home. It does have its disadvantages, but Columbus is a large growing city. I think some of the disadvantages that I mentioned, the cons I mentioned, are what you get when that's the price you pay for growth, right? Is the traffic, the crowdedness, and the weather. Well, we can't help that one, but small price to pay because I think Columbus is an amazing place to live. We got some beautiful areas. The way the city's laid out is very simple too. It's like a perfect circle. I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of corporations do their product testing in Columbus because it's such a smooth kind of demographic and round area. And there's a really beautiful part of town up here and a beautiful subdivision higher income down here, and this subdivision's this and this subdivision. It's very kind of predictable and simple the way the city's laid out, like a perfect circle with the highways, and like a bullseye the way the highways run through the city. So Wendy's is based here, Wendy's fast food, and they do all their testing here, and they find it works really well to represent the entire country. If a product hits in Columbus, it's going to hit all over, they say. So anyhow, guys, again, my name's Paul Graves. I'm a real estate broker here. If there's anything in the world I can do for you, let me know. I'd love to be a resource. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, do that too. Share this with a friend. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.